word black fucks it all up, because black doesn't actually say anything. It's like when you say I'm African, you can, there's a trail. But to say that you're black, it just stops. It's like, okay, we've been programmed to think that black is just like black.
And do you not find that what I've always found interesting, there's certain groups of people who don't actually identify as a racialized colour or so for example, Jewish people don't say I'm African, they don't say I'm black, they just say I'm Jewish. I've never actually, I don't know about others, I've never heard a Jewish person describe themselves as anything other than Jewish, unless they're mixed.
I think it's only black people and
anyone.
No, it's only black people, because even then, white people, they either say I'm English or I'm Polish or
Italian. But that's because they're the default, so they don't feel like they need to explain.
Or if they do say white, it's like a bold statement. It's just I'm white. So basically, end of conversation. Don't ask me where I'm from. Done. Because most Irish people, as you said, will say I'm Irish.
But we've always
they pertain themselves to where they're from.
Chinese.
We do have the issue, like
we've always had to
so-called black people have the issue because of what we've been taught or not taught. So it's like our issue.
But then
there's
purpose behind it.
It's not our issue. It's been something that's been put onto us and we don't understand it. And this is the thing, ignorance is key here. Because we don't understand it, we end up saying shit, random shit, shit that's offensive, shit that cuts. But really it's like, it's not ours. But we've adopted it, unfortunately, subconsciously.
But that's because it's been passed down the generations though, hasn't it? Because when I look at my family, on one side of my family, it's literally split. So before my great nan passed, like every time we did a birthday function for her, we made our internal jokes of our side. You've got the black side and you've got the white side, and the white side isn't white. They're not, but they're just all fair. Now I looked at it more recently and I said, isn't it interesting that like my nan's side, my nan looks Indian, her sister looks like she could be Spanish or Portuguese. But my great nan was of both. But literally, you got like one child took one side, the other took the other. So all my nan's children have come out brown to dark skin. All my aunt's children have all come out fair. She married somebody else that was fair. So now all of the children have come out pretty much same complexion. The darkest one looks mixed race. The rest look like they're just Spanish or Portuguese. All the guys have ended up with dark skinned women. And both females ended up with either white guys or fairer skinned guys as well. So all their children come out light too. So when you look at it, it literally looks like two different families joining together. So then people would be like, oh, you're actually related, like by blood. And I'm like, yeah, we like obviously it's distant in terms of generation, but we all have the same great grandmother. And they're looking at us and it's like, but. And the next thing, everyone fights to look for resemblances. Oh, but you don't actually, even though one could be like, you don't have you've got completely different features. I mean, I've got a whole different dad there and mum, so like, did you not expect, we're not siblings.
But it goes back to what I was saying, it's ignorance. It's like, you either know or you don't know. A lot of the times, it can be explained through family genetics, and sometimes it can't be, but it can be if you know what you know.
But then it's where our grandparents and foreparents had that connotation that the fairer the better. So if they like my great grandma had that, it'll be like, she had that, you're black kind of thing. It's like, what the hell do you think you are? But because she was actually mixed, she identified with herself a little bit differently. But we could say it's a generational thing, but it's also what she still had that enslaved mentality, and it carried through for us to realise, well, hold on, actually, it seems actually favours that side a little bit more. But only as she got older and things started changing in society, then her view started changing with it and realising who's there for her.
No one's really black or white. Logically speaking.
Yes, like when you ask a little kid, you teach them their colours. I did that to my friend's daughter the other day. I said, what colour am I? And she looked at me, she said, brown. And then I said, her dad's dark skin. I said, what colour's daddy? And then she kind of looked. And she was like, she kind of looked at me like, why are you even asking? Do you know what I mean? It's like, what colour is that?
No,
It's
because
true.
one time I said to my son, "You're black," and he was like, "No, I'm brown."
Yeah, that's what I mean. It's a logic thing.
But
And they're right.
that's what makes me think, are we, you know, when you argue about, you know, black and white,
Yeah,
are we playing into something
Exactly.
that
Yes.
we're not
100%.
necessarily aware of?
Yeah. Pick a side.
It's been weaponized.
Yeah, if you think about it logically, like, well, no one's actually black, or no one's
And it's actually white. Mhm.
We're shades of brown,
yeah.
and the light, you get lighter or pinkish, or you know.
And that's all literally just
Yeah.
down
I'm
to
like,
where.
for me, I'm like olive and
Well, that's the
oh,
thing.
why?
I said to my son, "What colour am I?" And he said, "Pink."
I was like, but I find it interesting that pretty much all the children say pink. Because my daughter, she described you, and she said, there's this one, there's this one. And she went, and what's the other one? He's kind of like pink and
Pinky.
red. And I said, who? And then she said, and then when I said Jay, I was busted.
I'm like, who are you talking about?
And then we realised she's talking about Jay. And we're like, but they describe what they see.
Exactly.
And that's the problem.
But
And
that's-
they're
no, but
tuned
that-
out of that.
If that's what we did, that would be it. I don't know why, but it brings me to Star Wars for some reason. And that's why I was thinking about it, because I was thinking, you know, Star Wars has created this thing, you know, dark and light, and, you know,
Not true.
black is
I'm not, but
considered as like
black
an
and-
evil,
Yeah.
and white
And
is
white
considered
is
as
safe.
good.
Yeah.
So I'm like, is that what potentially, because if you think about all of the entertainment out there, everything dark and black is evil,
Mhm.
everything white is like
Pure.
and pure and good. And then I just think to myself, is that the connotation to it?
Yeah, it
So
is
when
though.
you think
Because
about
remember,
it,
they always say black is the dirt.
Yeah.
Like, and that literally was how they describe people. They would say you're black like the dirt that we walk upon. Hence why black people were walked over.
Yeah, that's why.
Yeah,
cats
white,
are bad
white,
luck.
right, blacklisted, black this, black that, and then they will sing white. White would be pure, like the clouds, which is where are the clouds? Up high, you're held higher. So it is that literal thing. Because growing up as a child, I always questioned why mixed race people weren't seen as grey. I was like, if you got black people and you got white people and you mix it together, you get grey. Why do we never say the grey people?
These are the conversations that aren't happening now, innit? So black is like a full stop. White is a full stop. You can't really go beyond that. You can go between it, but not beyond it, which is why has it helped us?
Nope.
It hasn't really helped us. We're still kind of struggling to find out what this thing is, or find out who we are. So it's like, I wasn't born in Africa, but when you get knowledge of self, you realize Africa's in me now.
Mm-hmm.
But it's these things like, but it's done purposely. It's purposely, like it's all intentional. It's for you to think, okay, this is normal, when in reality it's by design, so they can ultimately justify everything that's happening in society.
It's
So
true.
you are where you are because of, and we are where we are because of. And when you actually break down these little things, it's like, okay, nah, that's way too intentional.
But even with you saying that, when you think about it, and the conversations when it is had on race about mixed race people, when they'll say, okay, well, I'm isolated by this side, or I'm isolated on that side, or some people are literally like, I just get it from both sides. Yeah. What do we call the grey area? Grey area is always like the unknown or the undefined. It's the mix mash of the we don't know if it's going to go left or right. But this, no, that's what I'm saying. It's always done, and that's what we're taught. So you have, that's what I'm saying, but you have to break that. If you don't break it, but that is how we are placed, if that makes sense. It's like, you know, if we were laid out on a chessboard, there's certain moves that you so-called can make, can't make, but the choice is yours to make the move. That's our job, to make that move for
I
ourselves.
think that, you know, like when we speak about this, it's not as simple as we just say it, because obviously we're saying it, like say, okay, boom, 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 this is what it is, but really it's not that. There's a root, and you gotta go back to the root and understand that and be like, okay, so why is this happening? And then when you actually look at that, you're like, okay, this is an attack on me. So I need to understand who's attacking me, why they're attacking me, and understand what I have to do. And I think, as I said, saying like you're either black or white stops it. But then when you start turning white into WIGHT or Caucasian, there's a route. It takes you somewhere. White don't take you nowhere. Black don't really take you anywhere either. But that's it. As much as the in-betweens grey area, black is grey area,
Yeah.
white is grey area.
Yeah.
It's all grey area because this is all covered up in
Yeah, sure.
confusion.
Especially when you got the one drop rule and all that.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
and that gets played however they want it to.
Yeah.
Some will love
Some
it
will
and say,
love
I
it.
am.
Yeah.
And others say,
It's like that as well.
it's only
So
that.
Originally.
Yeah.
when you get back to Africa and you realise that's the name they gave it,
Yeah.
and then you start trailing back, it's like, wait, okay, so it's all one big lie.
Yeah.
But who's doing this? Colonizers.
When
And it goes back because, sorry,
when black and white is not even.
They're not actual colours.
colours.
Yeah.
going back to your video, once you know that, once you understand it, right, and that confidence is planted in you, they can't hurt you because then you kind of realize you're all ignorant. Because you think you're black, you're not black. You think I'm like some other,
Yeah.
but you just don't know either,
Yeah.
kind of thing.
We're all others.
We're all other.
We are.
You know, I started
You
to
can't-
tick that actually, the other box.
I stopped ticking.
I was about to say I just don't think anymore, I'm not gonna lie. And because the thing is, notice when it does say other, it still says please specify. And you're like, but if I specify it, what difference
I
would
should
it
write
make? It's
alien.
probably only the problem is you actually fit in a box with loads of others. Loads of people right there.
Fuck you, I know what you're doing.
Do the acronyms of it though. I'll be even better. Sitting there trying to read it. What's happening?